Hi, everybody, and welcome to the restaurant, beginning of the restaurant section. We're going to be talking about restaurants this particular week, the restaurant business in particular. We'll get on to some more operations and some of the management later on next week and following week. But this week, we continue the assault on all five senses. And a little housekeeping note, I'm going to add what we call a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, in your syllabus, I gave you 75 points for this. I am going to continue to give you 75 points, but I did not place it within the calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and place it in the calendar probably this week, but it won't be due until the 23rd of October, so you have a few weeks. What I want you to do is pick out a restaurant, and then we're going to go through the exercise of conducting a SWOT analysis on that particular restaurant. It can be a food truck, it can be a restaurant, it can be a bar, it can be anything that serves food. Okay, so take a look at that. Be on the lookout for it. There'll be a separate video on expectations, formats, those kind of things. Again, SWOT analysis for October 23rd. Be on the lookout for the change in syllabus on that. Now, it's halftime. It is the middle of the semester. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Please reach out to me if you have any concerns. If your grades are not where you think they need to be, I will work with you to hopefully you can get the most out of this class and learn a lot about the hospitality business. I have all kinds of resources that can help you either get caught up or learn more, depending on what you want to do. And anyhow, we're gonna continue this week. And by the way, if you want to get a good snapshot of the restaurant business, there is a movie out on FX and Hulu called The Bear, and I may have mentioned this before in this class, but I have to put an asterisk next to that and qualify it because it is not for the faint of heart. If you're offended by language and certain actions, this will not be for you because it is pretty strong language, but it does give you a realistic taste of what goes on in a restaurant. I was getting a little twitch during some of it. I'm going to throw up a YouTube video that gives the latest and greatest of the really top restaurants in Las Vegas. Now, a lot of you know that I was in the casino business for quite a while, and I was in the restaurant business with Rainforest Cafe and with Grand Casinos. I was the chief marketing officer for Rainforest Cafe, and I was the head of marketing for Grand Casinos. We did collide out in Las Vegas quite a few times, and I spent a lot of time looking at and visiting the restaurants there and the hospitality offerings within the Las Vegas market. I have been to most of the restaurants that are highlighted in this particular video. I think it's about a 10-minute YouTube video, but take a look at that. And I know a lot of you, if you haven't been to Las Vegas already, maybe going in the future, or you can use this as a resource for places to hit if you can get in and if you can afford it. Now, they start off and they talk a lot about the Stratosphere, which I opened the Stratosphere way back when. And there is a restaurant called the Top of the World. The only thing I would add that they do not talk about, it is on one of the top 10 restaurants in Las Vegas list, is get your seat at dusk, because you get to see the restaurant rotates, you get to see the entire downtown and Fremont Street, the Strip and Fremont Street. And if you go there at dusk, you get to see the lights, the sun go down and the lights of the city come up. It is one of the best views of Las Vegas. And, it's got a great wine selection and all that. Let's see, what else do they talk about? They talk about Guy Savoy at Caesars. Again, an incredible one. Capitol Grille, which there's a Capitol Grille in Dallas, I believe. There's also one in Houston. I believe those are the two closest ones. One of my favorite chain steakhouses. And let's see, what else do they talk about? Picasso at Bellagio. They have one of the best wine selections I have ever seen. Mizumi and the Wynn. It is a Anything the Wynn does, Steve Wynn, I had the pleasure of working for him in Asia. He picks quality products, and this is an Asian restaurant. And if you can't get the pagoda table, I believe they talk about it in this video. It is literally out on the water. You take a path to get to it. It's one of the most amazing ones out there. The Top of the World, of course, Twist at the Waldorf Astoria. It is excellent. They talk about that one. The Bizarre Meat in the Sahara. It is a carnivore's delight. And Kabuto, which is the sushi restaurant. It is off the strip. It's been around forever, and it was just recently named as one of the top sushi restaurants in North America. So if you're into sushi, that is a beautiful place to go. Let's see, Joel Robuchon. Tell you what, if you can get into that restaurant, it's at the MGM. You're going to spend a lot of money, but you want to talk about the painless extraction of cash in this particular restaurant. You will gladly give them the $1,000 per couple that you'll spend in exchange for that experience. And you'll spend a good amount of time in it. It truly is a culinary experience. So check that one out. Now, another one, if you're in New Orleans and you don't call me, first of all, that's an offense. But if you come to New Orleans, you've got, of course, Commander's Palace and all of the Brennan's restaurants, which are some of my favorites in the restaurant world as well. So save your pennies, stay in touch. Let me know if you go to any of these. Again, look at that video. There's a few nuggets in there that I'll probably quiz you on at the end of the week. Now, about this particular chapter, again, it's an overview of the business. The roots of the business are formed in the classical cuisine. It's they call it the brigade system, and it was established by Auguste Escoffier. I always have a problem saying that name. Augusta Escoffier. There is a bio in this particular chapter. Make sure you read it. It is very important, and he was kind of the father of classical cuisines, and everything else kind of falls off of that structure. And let's see what else we got in here. A few things are a little outdated. That's why next year I'm probably going to change up this. For example, they have Anthony Bourdain, ownership of one of his restaurants and top-selling author. If you did not know, Anthony Bourdain is no longer with us. So they reference him as if he is already with us. But nonetheless, he was one of the pioneers and certainly a good personality in the business. So make sure you understand the menu design, layout, the classifications. Those are all very important. We'll talk about Wolfgang Puck. I talk about him a little bit in the videos. The PowerPoint reads, and he's also in one of the top 10. So take a look at him. And I'm telling you, don't watch this thing if you're hungry. Don't watch that video if you're hungry, because it will show you all of the food that they're preparing, how they prepare it, and everything. You'll have a ball. Let's see. Yeah, all of this is pretty top, top level. Themed restaurants. I talk about the Rainforest Cafe and the PowerPoint presentations because I was one of the originals at that. And if you've never been there, it is truly an assault on all five senses. I personally would walk out of there worn out, but that was by design. And I don't believe they mention it here, but I bring it up in the PowerPoint. So,